friends and neighbors. I think I picked the rainiest day possible to make a video, but I was tagged by the MI Woodsman to show my 3 most sentimental knives. Been out here and it's been just downpouring on and off all day today. But let's just get on down to it. Bring you right back. Well, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm not much of a storyteller, but I suppose if a knife is going to be sentimental, there ought to be some kind of story behind it. So one of them that I wanted to show was this old Schrade sharp finger. And this knife was actually misplaced in the woods. I had gotten a large deer and was pretty excited and somehow managed to leave the knife behind. And it laid in the woods for 2 years. And one day upon my return I actually found it. And it's still fairly sharp, believe it or not. But in the meantime, I had replaced it with another knife. And that is the Schrade Super Sharp. Now honestly, I kind of like the sharp finger a little better. I'm not a big fan of the gut hook. Works fine on small game, but I find with deer, the big hairs just kind of clog everything up there, so I don't really use it for deer. But I do like the length of the blade there, and this knife gets used. Helped me process many a deer, and it was a gift from my uncle in order to replace the one that I had lost. So with that in mind, it's pretty sentimental to me. So I do think maybe I'll try and clean up this old one, maybe refurbish it a bit. And speaking of knives and refurbishing knives, a good buddy of ours, Mr. Tom Chitwood, was involved in an accident. And from what I hear, he's going to be okay. He's just a little banged up. But if you all would, please keep him in your prayers and in your heart and mind and think of him. Tom, I hope you get better, buddy. So, another knife I wanted to show is a little different of a story. This one was gifted to me by my mother, and I think you all have seen this one before. It's one of my favorite little pocket fishing knives. It's got a good pair of scissors for snipping line. It's got some small tools if I have to work on my reels. It's got a little pair of pliers there in case you catch a toothy critter. Somewhere in here is another tool that comes in handy. Sometimes when fish swallow the hook, I can use this tool to get down in their throats and remove that hook safely. And it's kind of nice if you're practicing catch and release. But it's a fishing knife that goes just about everywhere with me fishing. And I'm terrified one of these days I'm going to lose it. I've lost more knives than I own. But a gift from my mother, so if it's from your mother, it's got to be sentimental, right? My grandfather, he had given me numerous pocket knives growing up, and he'd often scroll his name and initials into them, and I've got several that he had gifted to me over the years. Nice old case here. And boy, he'd use them. He'd just wear them down. The one that was particularly special to me, he had given me, and it was brand new at the time, and that was this little Smith & Wesson. And you probably can't see it here, it's getting kind of dark, but it has a nice little scenery of a whitetail buck in the winter time. And my grandfather gifted this one to me, and I EDC'd it for a long time, still sharp as blazes. Finally lost a screw on it and chewed it up a little bit. But one day I was using it in front of my mother, and she said, "Where did you get that knife?" And I said, "Well, Grandpa gifted it to me." And she kind of made a frown face, and I says, What's the matter?" And she said, "I gifted that to him." So the fact that he recycled it and gave it on to me, or re-gifted it on to me, kind of made it a little special. So that's the story on that one. So, John, thank you so much for the tag, brother. Another knife that pretty darn close to the list was a neck knife that Brother John had gifted to me. And I carry this all the time in the outdoors, and it's a reminder every time that I use it of all of you wonderful people whom I've met through YouTube. Y'all are awesome. Y'all take care of each other and be good to one another out there. And I think I'm gonna pack up and get out of the rain here. Well, thanks for putting up with my blurry focus and my terrible sound. I forgot I'm supposed to tag a few people. I'm not expecting a whole lot of views on this video. I don't know if anybody's going to see it. Don't know if these people do tags, but you know, if you guys have time, go for it. I'd like to tag SunsetBay Bonnie. She does a lot of carving and a lot of crafts, and always busy, and I'm sure she'd have a few knives to show. So Bonnie, if you're up to it, go for it. We'll try my old buddy Lee Ralph. Lee, maybe you got some sentimental blades, maybe something that you're going to pass down to the kids or something. If you have time, I'd love to see those. And how about Aaron Nelson? If y'all haven't heard of Aaron, he's a very well-rounded Michigan outdoorsman. He's out there deer hunting, he's out there small game hunting. The guy is a steelhead magnet. So Aaron, buddy, if you got the time, consider yourself tagged. 3 most sentimental knives. Thanks again, guys.